head out to the big field where Farmer Luke is working on a big project. I really want to learn more about it. So let's go. We're here with Farmer Luke, and he's gonna tell us about planting trees. There's some more. You can see the tree tubes over there. So, Farmer Luke.
Yeah.
Why did you plant these trees in the first place?
That's a good question, Max. Well, it's always a good thing to plant trees. Trees are wonderful things for the environment and for, in our case, producing a lot of mast, which is nuts and fruit that fall off the tree, and we're going to use that to feed our pigs.
Oh, so what kinds of trees are you planting?
Well, they're all the trees we're planting here have produced some kind of edible crop for the pigs or for humans if we decide to harvest them for ourselves. So we have up here we have chestnut trees.
I love chestnuts.
I love chestnuts too, and the pigs really love chestnuts. And then we have down a little bit further we have pear trees, Asian pear trees.
Oh.
And then there's some more chestnuts. And then down along the bottom, all those trees that are planted a little bit closer together, those are all native species. There's oaks and crab apples and
Crab apples?
Yeah.
Persimmons?
Yeah. I know. They're going to be delicious.
I can't wait for the crab apples. What's the purpose of planting these trees? Like, what are you doing with them? Are you planting a forest? What are you doing?
Not quite. It's has some forest-like qualities, but it's what we call a silvopasture. So it's a combination of trees, which is where the prefix silvo comes from, and then grass, which is where pasture comes from. Silvopasture means mixture of trees and grass. And we're doing that so that we can give our animals a better place to live. The trees will grow up and they'll provide them shade, and also all these trees here produce mast. They produce nuts or fruit that will fall to the ground and will give our pigs, which live right up the hill, it'll give them food to eat. And but then once the trees get up and they get big, that'll give them shade, so it'll keep them cool in the summer. And then they can also graze on the grass that is growing in between the rows of trees. And so then they can have a full diet. They get their vegetables and they get their nuts. It's a balanced diet for a pig.
Since you're planting trees, why on earth is there tubes instead of trees coming out of the ground?
It does look like just a bunch of tubes and wooden stakes right now, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Each one of those tubes, inside that tube is a little tiny seedling tree. And the reason we put the tubes there is because if you just plant the seedling in the ground, then this grass is going to grow up and it's going to cover up the seedlings and we won't know where they are. And then part of the trick to getting the trees established is to keep the grass around them and the weeds mowed down so that it gives the tree a chance to establish well and to take off. And then in some of these trees, these tubes, by next year we'll have trees poking out of them. Some of them might take a couple years, but in a few years we'll be able to take all the tubes off and there'll just be trees, hopefully pretty much every place there's a tube.
Can you show us how to plant a tree? I'm curious.
Yeah, of course.
And interested.
And interested. Let's go ahead. Let's go plant a tree.
So what kind of tree are we gonna plant here?
We're planting a chestnut here. This is a timber hybrid chestnut. So it is a hybrid of American and Chinese chestnut. And they grow, look at how straight these are. Here, we'll pick a nice tall one so everybody can see. Wow, look at how nice and straight that is. So it should just keep growing up straight. There you go, that's a good one for you to put in. So that you want to put it in the hole so that root goes straight down, and any of the roots that are coming off the side, you want to make sure that those are also pointing down and they're not crossing with each other.
Can you start big hole for me?
Can you hold that for a second? Yeah, that looks good. So what I like to do is just kind of jiggle it around like that. And then if you have a root that's kind of pestering you like that, you can use this and just gently push it down like that. Just make sure they're all facing down. Yep, see that? And then see what we want to do. We want to keep this line right here, which is where the soil was on this tree.
Yeah.
We want to make sure that its new place, the soil is at that same line. You know, that'll make sure it's got a good foundation, but we don't want to bury it too deep. All right, and now I'm going to show you how to close it up.
Okay.
So you put the planting bar back, just a few inches back from the hole, and then you push it straight down. Oh, we got a rock.
Yeah, we hit a rock.
Oh, rocky here.
But we got past it.
And then you want to pull back on the lever. You want to do it? Mm-hmm. Pull back first.
Wait, I'm gonna do it. I want to do it too. I want to do it.
We'll all do it all together. All right, that's good. And what did we just do there?
We pushed some soil in.
Yeah, we closed the bottom of the hole, so we don't want to leave any air pockets down there. Push the bottom, and now we're gonna push the lever, and we close the top of the hole. And then we can go with our boot, and we can just kind of tamp that down a little bit around there. Yep, just like that. Slide it down over the top.
Of the tree.
And if you pull this tight while you're sliding it down, it'll make sure that that inside of that band doesn't get wrapped around the top of the seedling. So one of the big problems that a lot of trees have the first few years is that they get chewed on in the wintertime.
By moles and stuff?
By voles mostly, yeah. So if we can set that tube down into the soil just a little bit, it should keep the voles out. Yep, and then we tighten these up nice and tight. And that's it.
Then the moles can't, so then the voles and stuff can't get through the plastic tube.
That's right. They won't chew through the plastic. They can go under if there's a gap. But yeah, and then we'll put a little bird net. We have nets to put over the top to keep birds out, because birds can get in there and
yeah,
they can fall in and then they can't get back out, and then that's no good for anybody, the tree or the bird.
Thanks, Farmer Luke, for showing us how to plant a tree and telling us all about planting trees.
Well, you're welcome. Thanks for coming out and helping.
And thanks. You're welcome too. Thanks, Papa. Thanks for showing. Thanks for joining us on Sweet Farm News. I hope you see our next episode soon.